Kali exercise. Okay, today I have a jungle bolo and an everyday carry knife. Okay, jungle bolo has been, I just took it out from underneath the rubble, underneath the piles of my garbage. Okay, not really garbage, but stuff that has been there for a long time. So I took it off and did some buffing, and I modified the configuration of a jungle bolo to something that will maybe used as a weapon. So I I took a significant part, the belly of the jungle bolo. I took the belly of the jungle bolo and cut an angle from here to here, and then rounded it off, and then grinded for for the sharpness of the blade. Okay, and then I buff it, took away the rust. This was filled with rust all over because this has been used previously in the farm, and so they use this to cut the coconut, no, the banana trees, and hence a lot of rust were here. Anyway, this is the newer version of this. By the way, this is light, and you can see that the thickness is very small. Okay, it's thick, and it would be good for a practice weapon, but be careful, it's sharp. It's pointed and it's very sharp. The other one is a knife. Okay, this is my everyday carry. This is in a bag called my EDC. It's a backpack. Actually, it's a converted photography bag. You know, if you don't know, I have been a photo enthusiast, and I had a collection of bags for the photos, and hence I made one of them to be an EDC bag where I put this. So I usually don't take this off from that bag. Okay, so I hope you have seen what I did. That was just part of the exercise. So let me take this time to explain some things about Kali. Okay, friends, so let's take some time and clarify some things about Kali. I think it's important for us to also talk about things that you need to know about Kali. Okay, I thought of dealing with what is Kali. What is Kali? You probably don't hear it being discussed in the social media. Okay, Kali is actually a two-weapon fighting system. Two-weapon, whether you have the actual weapon or you have just the two hands. Okay, it's dual. It's the strong hand, the weak hand, and you use the strong hand for the main shots, or main strike, crippling strikes, and the main strength where you have, and the weak hand actually is intended for support. It helps the strong hand to block, to parry, to disable, to immobilize, or even to strike when the need arises, when the need it to be used as a main, then you can use it as a main, as when it's handling a knife. So it may be used, but it's a secondary. If you are holding a bigger weapon, then the bigger weapon should be the main one. Okay, the main weapon should be the one that's being held by the strong hand. The weak hand will be a support and will be a secondary weapon, which may be utilized if you are in a combat situation. So how about when you have just one weapon? It's the same thing. Okay, it's the same thing. You still use the weak hand as a support. This is the main. Okay, this is the main one. If you use a knife, it's the same thing. Okay, you use this as the main weapon. What if you have a stick? Okay, let me show you a stick. So here is a rattan stick, or the arnis stick. If you have the arnis stick, okay, and you hold it in the right hand, it becomes the main weapon. What about if you have a knife and a stick? Okay, a knife and a stick, which do you think may be the main weapon? For me, okay, the main weapon is the one that you're confident with, that you can control it well, and you can use it to actually to injure or create or deliver a significant blow. Okay, so if you have a knife and a stick, for me, the knife will be the main weapon and the stick will be a supporting weapon. Okay, so the main weapon would be the knife and the stick will be a supporting weapon. Okay, if this is a rattan. But say for example, if you use a kamagong, this is called ironwood in the Philippines, and I have a knife. Okay, and if I have a knife, well, this will be my main weapon, and I'll be holding this with a strong arm, because this could deliver a very significant blow. Okay, and if you can control it well, then it becomes a very significant deadly weapon. This will probably be used to inflict injury as well, but mostly this will be a supporting weapon. When you fail on the main weapon, this is a secondary weapon. Okay, you may slash with it, and you may thrust, or you may stab with it. This one you may also stab with it with very deadly force, and the strike strike of this is very significant. It may damage, give a lot of damage as well. What if you have a long weapon, such as this one, okay, such as this knife, okay? Then comparing the two, the Kamagong is heavier than this weapon, okay? Although this is sharp, I will still use the Kamagong as my main weapon of choice. And so the Bolo will be a secondary weapon, which may also be used to deliver a significant strike, but mostly probably this would be a deterrent, okay? And the main strike, I'll be delivering it with this Kamagong, and secondary with this bladed weapon. So the point of the discussion is, Kali is always a two-weapon fighting system, okay, where you use the strong hand and the weak hand. You may use different weapons in the strong hand and the weak hand, but it depends on the user, whether it be the main weapon or the supporting weapon, okay? If you are using a knife and a stick, some would use the knife as the main, and the stick use the knife as the main and the stick as the supporting weapon, okay? Or vice versa. There would be people who may use the knife as the support, as well as the stick as the main weapon. So it depends. So basically, whether we talk about mano-mano, or maybe a knife used for Kali, or maybe a bolo, or maybe a bolo and knife, or maybe a two-stick weapon system, okay, two stick with a bolo, or a bolo with a stick, then it would be dependent on the user which weapon is confidently being used and well versed with using it with a strong hand. Okay, folks, I think that's a good topic for now, and I hope you learned something out of it. Okay, one thing that I'd like to clarify, just for information. Okay, Kali is the fighting technique. Okay, it's just like judo, karate, taekwondo, and Kali. Okay, most of them are hand and feet uh, style. Kali is a weapon fighting system. Okay, and it may be used as a hand and feet fighting system as well. But mind you, it will always be a two-weapon system, whether you have a weapon or none. Okay, so that's the difference. Arnis is the stick. Okay, technically speaking, Arnis is the stick, and so Arnis is stick. Eskrima is sometimes used as well. Okay, it's the fighting, sparring with same thing. Sparring with bladed weapon is called Eskrima. So we use the three words almost interchangeably. But strictly speaking, Kali is the style, the fighting method. Arnis is the weapon, the wooden stick weapon. And Eskrima is the process of sparring between two partners using a weapon, a bladed weapon. Okay, I think that's enough for the trivia, folks. Fidel Fernandez for Doc Charles Vlog.